Joining me now to do that and talk about the legal implications, attorney Brian Claypool. He was actually at the Las Vegas concert shooting and represented a number of people who sued after that show. Brian, it's great to have you. I'm wondering, the more you hear about this, the more it just sounded like a disaster waiting to happen.
Yeah, Joe, thanks for having me. That bit you played is staggering. I mean, to hear these alleged security guys saying that they got a text message to show up and had absolutely no training, that is absolute garbage. I mean, this event is going to change the face of concerts going forward. I know out here in California, I'm sure you've heard of Coachella. They're already anxious about whether that's even going to go forward because of this. Now, you mentioned I was in the Las Vegas shooting. I almost died in that shooting, and when I ended up repping 150 victims, the first thing we looked at, Joe, was security. Security both within the MGM and on the premise. And I've got to tell you, I said yesterday on another show, that's the heart of these lawsuits. These victims and their lawyers should be focusing on flat-out negligent security. Not only it starts from hiring and training and supervision. And then Brian made a good point there about these barriers, right?
Right.
2 years ago, there were problems with another Travis Scott concert. Did they not learn to improve the barriers so that people can't be crushed together like that?
Yeah, let's listen to a clip from the Houston fire chief, something he said on the Today Show. We'll get your reaction after.
We all have a responsibility. Everybody in that at that event has a responsibility, starting from the artist. The artist, if he notices something that's going on, he can certainly pause that performance, turn on the lights, and say, "Hey, we're not going to continue until this thing is resolved."
So a lot of people are talking about Travis Scott, Brian, but I'm wondering where else the liability might fall. I mean, you mentioned security, but what about, the promoter? Yeah. What about the performer? What about the city? I mean, shouldn't someone have stepped in and shut that thing down, at least temporarily?
Well, you've got two fluid issues here, Joe. You've got criminal liability potentially, and you've got civil liability. Let's talk just quickly about criminal liability. I really don't think there is going to be criminal liability. Everybody's trying to point the finger at Travis Scott, even Drake. They should be criminally liable. The reason why I don't think they will be, the standard is a lot higher for criminal negligence. It requires you knew or should have known of a risk. Well, they knew that, but you've got to act in reckless disregard. And you got to, if you're performing on a stage, you're focusing on performing. I'm not making an excuse, but you're looking out in the crowd, you see an ambulance, maybe you think there was a fight.
Right.
You don't know that people are dying. So that's criminal. So that's the criminal side. I don't think there's going to be criminal liability. But getting to civil liability, you've got to be careful as well. We learned this in the Vegas shooting case, Joe. You can't just randomly start suing every defendant here. Like, for example, Live Nation, the promoter. Do you know that in those tickets that you buy through Ticketmaster, that's owned by Live Nation, that there are binding arbitration clauses, right? That would be devastating.
Yeah.
That's devastating for a plaintiff. You don't want to have
I thought of that
binding
today,
arbitration.
Brian. It basically says that if you come to this show, you can't sue someone if something happens. How does that fit in?
That's right. That's a limitation of liability, right? You've got both binding arbitration and a limitation of liability clause in these tickets you buy. So these lawyers that are already out there suing everybody, that could be a detriment to these victims' families. They need to be careful because you don't want to get into arbitration and end up suing the wrong person. Here's another example. You might end up in federal court versus state court if you start suing everybody on the planet. That's another thing that you need to be careful with. And then real quick, on city liability, I don't think the city, the police chief, they're not going to be held liable. If they're sued, they're going to get out of court. They didn't own the property. They didn't supervise the premise. And they have government immunity on a lot of claims.
All right, let's get you on the Rittenhouse trial while we have you, Brian, quickly. There was a big development yesterday. One of the people injured talked about what happened before Rittenhouse shot him. Here's a clip.
It wasn't until you pointed your gun at him, advanced on him, with your gun, now your hands down, pointed at him, that he fired, right?
Correct.
So how big a bombshell is that, Brian?
devastation for the prosecution. That testimony is an acquittal as to that gentleman, because self-defense requires the person using it to have an objective fear of imminent harm. And that testimony clearly establishes that Rittenhouse objectively means, for your viewers, that what would a reasonable person think, not subjectively, which is what you or I would think. But I got to tell you, with that testimony, they're going to argue in closing statement, defense lawyers, that Rittenhouse objectively felt like his life was in danger, a gun was pointed at him, and he used self-defense. Right. So that was just a bombshell.
We're out of time. Yes or no? Would you put him on the stand?
I wouldn't. Given that testimony, no.
All right. Brian Claypool, it's great to have you. Thanks for the time.
You bet. Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Click the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.